My pawb, sydd Hello everyone, hope you're all doing okay. I'm just nipping in with this video while I've got the cards still out and before I put them away somewhere, before I get into making things with the haul that I did in my last video. Because I do remember saying sometime before Christmas that I would do a video using the Garden Meadow suite, which is an online exclusive. You can only buy it online, it's not in any of the catalogues. So here I am. It's going to be quite a quick one because I've already made 3 cards. So you get the stamp set, which has got lots of lovely stamps in it. Nice little wheelbarrow with flowers, gates, gardening stuff basically. And then you get, there's a die set that goes with it, and this is the one that I've mainly used, which is to create the archway. I've used a couple of these other smaller bits, which I'll show you in a minute. And then the DSP is all lovely scenes that you can use. I mean, they're all gorgeous and they're all like hand painted. I mean, they look like the sort of thing that Monet would do or would have done. So that's the paper. The backs of the paper are various sort of clouds, more flowers, just sort of painted, plainer backgrounds on those, which obviously you can use for anything. And then the 3 cards I've made already, and I'll do the 4th one, I've used, I think that's basic grey, or it might be grey granite, and pecan pie I've done as the background, and then the bit that's cut out in the middle. So when you use your die, if you're cutting out of that, then you end up with an arch that you can use as a window, and then you get the bit in the middle. So the plain bit in the middle that came out of that, I've used to cut some other bits out of. So, you know, that's useful for that. So these 2, I've put the arch bit that I've cut out straight down onto the embossed cardstock. And then this one I've cut out a bit of the landscape pictures and embossed this after cutting it out. I learnt this: if you're going to emboss and die cut something, then you die cut it first and then emboss it, otherwise it all goes a bit there. And this one I've actually raised up on, you can see there I've raised up using dimensionals, but the one I'm going to do in a minute, which is going to be the same style as this, I'm going to do flat. The other thing that I've done differently is I cut this bit slightly smaller than this bit, whereas the one I'm going to do in a minute, I've cut them to the same size, because I think it'll work out better. In fact, I probably should have done this one to the same size. And the embossing folder that I've used is the unfortunately now retired bricks and mortar. Now, the way the embossing folder is made, the bricks are all going vertically, but of course bricks normally go horizontally, so you have to remember to put your card in sideways. And this is suitable up to 15 centimetres squared. So for those of you still using old money, that's not quite 6 inches, but it's suitable for A6, which is what I use. So I just made the right size and put it in, remembering to put it in sideways, otherwise the bricks would have come out the wrong way round. I suppose there are some bricks that could go that way, but I like my bricks to look like bricks. So that's the 3 that I've done. This is the other one I'm going to do. Some of the other bits and pieces you get in the dies, you get these edge ones, which, oh, where have they gone? I've got one. I can see one. They've all disappeared. had them here seconds ago. Here they are, hiding under another piece. Hiding under the grey bit of that. So you can do these extra bits that you could actually put in front of your main picture, so you get this cut out, which has got little extra details, so it looks like a bush. This, which looks like a sort of a small hill with some grass, which I've done in 2 colours, and this one which looks like lots of long grass. So you could put that in between the layers like that, and you could obviously build up some backgrounds using these in different colours, let's say. So yeah, you could even put 3 of them. I get them all in the right let me get them all in the right place so that they look as though they're move that over a bit. So yeah, so you could even have this as a foreground. I'm not going to on this occasion, but I shall keep those for another time. And it's literally just a case of sticking the background paper down. And quite a few of these places remind me of near where we used to live in Suffolk. We had quite a few places that looked a bit like this. Right, stick that down there. Apart from the hills in the distance, obviously, there's not many hills in Suffolk. Anybody who's been in East Anglia knows it's rather flat. Although that's not to say that there aren't any hills. They're just not as apparent. And I suppose when we lived in Sussex as well, we lived in West Sussex near Pawb, which is an RSPB place. That is actually very reminiscent of this picture, because we lived right by the South Downs. We lived just outside the new South Downs, what's it called? Country Park. Is it called a country park? You know, like the Lake District and Snowdonia and all that lot. The South Downs is now one. But we lived literally metres away from the edge. There we go. Which in some ways was good. But I suppose if we'd have lived within it, then we could have sold our house for even more money when we left. But we were happy with what we sold it for. Anyway, I'm going to put this down here, match up the edge of the paper. And there you go. It's really easy. Makes a lovely focal point, obviously, on the card. The only thing I haven't quite decided on any of these cards is whether or not to put a sentiment on the front or to leave them as they are. I think I'm going to leave them as they are and put a sentiment inside of some sort, or I might just leave them totally blank so that people can decide to do with them what they will. But they are absolutely gorgeous. Paintings almost. I mean, you could, if you had a 6x6 frame, you could actually frame these and give them as a gift or hang them in your own home. They are so beautifully, beautifully done. I mean, if only I could paint like that. But I can't. And I know because I've tried. But yeah, they are absolutely beautiful. So that's the Garden Meadows suite. I think it's called Meandering Meadows as a suite. But as I said, this bricks and mortar embossing folder is now retired. so you'd have to look for that on second-hand sites if you wanted one. But I'm sure they'll bring out something similar again, but I'm not getting rid of it because I do like it. Anyway, that was just a little quick video just to fulfill the promise that I made way before Christmas. So, I'll see you again shortly. Hwyl am y tro.